Hey guys, so today I have another watch unboxing. This is the Hamilton Ventura Elvis80 Skeleton, and this is not my first Hamilton Ventura actually. I've actually already done another video a few years ago on the Elvis 80, but that was the quartz version. So this is the automatic skeleton version. So we're going to take a look. So we only get the user manual here in the box, which is not even for the Ventura, obviously. This is for a different watch, but that's all you get here. Then you get the actual watch box here, which is a nice wooden box. So yeah, it keeps it nice and classy here with the wood. And then, so if you guys aren't familiar with the Ventura, it is originally the very first battery-powered watch ever, basically. Before that, you know, watches always ran on mechanical spring power, right? So Hamilton pretty much pioneered the battery-powered watch. I think Belova and Hamilton, actually, these American companies really pioneered the battery-powered watch before Seiko came out with the quartz watches and the Astron. Totally changed, you know, the watch industry. But Hamilton came out with the Ventura all the way back in 1957. And yeah, it's still going strong today, although it's a very unique type of watch, and it's not for everyone, but I do happen to like it, and I think it's a really nice, interesting design. So yeah, let's take a look. Okay, here we go. So this is the Elvis 80 Skeleton version. So they make a few different models of the Ventura. The Elvis 80 are a bigger model compared to the regular Ventura model, but they're not as big as the XL models. There's like the XXL models of the Ventura. Those are super big. So the Elvis 80s are not as big as that, but they're bigger than the conventional Ventura models. Alright, so here it is, and you guys can see it is the black version. They also make a gold case version, which I find a little bit tacky. So I got the black version with the rubber strap, of course. Yeah, my old Ventura Elvis 80 also had a rubber strap, except it was quartz. And it's interesting, you might be asking me why I get the automatic version, why I get the skeleton version. So this one's more expensive than the quartz version, of course. It retails for $1,800 US, although I got it for a bit less than that, $1,200 secondhand. Yeah, it's more expensive, of course, because it's the mechanical version. This particular model, right, the Hamilton Ventura series, you might be thinking, okay, the quartz version is actually technically the more correct version, since it's originally meant to be a battery watch when it first came out. It's actually iconic for being a battery watch, so why get the automatic version or the skeleton version? I just think that this particular design, I really like it on the skeleton version. So you guys can see this little, like, in the middle, you see that little electricity, I guess, power motif right here. So that's actually not in the regular Elvis 80 version. This is not in the quartz version. If this was actually in the quartz version, I might consider getting it. I actually really do like the regular quartz version as well. It's a very, you know, kind of Americana kind of design to it, like the motif, the black and orange. It just reminds me of the dashboard of like a, you know, 1950s, 1960s Cadillac. It's got this classic Americana design, but also I like this version too because it signifies, you know, it's a throwback to the original Ventura design, which has this power, little power line in the middle, and it just signifies power, right? So even though this is not battery powered, it's you know, mechanical, but you can still sense that it's powered by something, right? The skeleton movement really shows that it's powered by, in this case, you know, the kinetic energy, right? The energy from your moving your wrist. So yeah, that's really cool in my opinion. I wish this design was in the regular Elvis 80 models, but they're not. It's only the skeleton model. So yeah, this is specific to the Elvis 80 skeleton. Also, another thing to note is that this model does not have any date complication because it's a skeleton model. So if you're looking for a date indicator, it's better to go for the original non-skeleton version. So yeah, this Ventura, even though it's not battery powered and, you know, technically isn't accurate to the original Ventura, which was battery powered, I still think that the automatic movement looks really cool on it. particularly the skeleton model. If it was just a regular automatic model, I don't think it looks as cool. But the skeleton model really looks cool because you have this electricity, like as motif, and even though it's not powered by the battery, you can still see like the power going on here, right? It's powered in the background here, right, with the movement. So you can, because it's skeletonized, you can see, right, that's the balance wheel kind of working its magic. So it's still conveying that sense of power, and it's got this really like industrial look to it, this really retro futuristic look to it, which I really like. So yeah, I mean, the original Ventura and Elvis, the original Elvis 80 models, it really has this sense of Americana vibe to it. But this model in particular, the Elvis 80 Skeleton, which is the only model that has this motif, yeah, it really has this industrial retro futuristic vibe, and that's really cool, right? And obviously it's a really interesting, unique design. That's what the Ventura is actually known for. The Elvis 80 entire line is inspired by the fact that Elvis wore the Ventura and is famous for wearing the Ventura in the movie Blue Hawaii, which is probably his most famous movie, and he was seen wearing it. And not the particular model they make though, he wore the original Ventura, but but definitely, you know, Hamilton took the kind of endorsement and made a whole line of watches based on his name, and these are definitely bigger than the original Venturas. So I would say that the case shape is equivalent, you know, it's hard to measure this exactly, but it's equivalent to like a 42, 43 millimeter. It's fairly big, but it doesn't actually wear that big when you put it on your wrist. And I've worn, you know, the original Elvis 80 before. So it's the same size as that. I don't want to get the XXL models. I think those are a little bit too big, but I think the Elvis 80s are nice in between, right? The original vintage size Ventura and the XXL size, the Elvis 80s are right in between in terms of the size and the design. So yeah, it's pretty nice. So Hamilton was originally an American company, but then became a Swiss company. Now it's under Swatch. So look at the back. So the movement is an ETA movement, which is only used by Swatch brands. So this is an ETA Powermatic 80. So it's a pretty nice movement. ETA movements are always, you know, fairly reliable. So yeah, Swiss made. And it should be water resistant to 5 bars, it says. Okay. So yeah, otherwise the movement itself is not the most decorated movement I've seen, but it's nice, especially in this unique triangular case, right? Definitely it is unique in that aspect, and the rubber strap I think really complements the watch, because this watch isn't, I mean, obviously not a dress watch or anything like that, but it's a fun watch, right? It's a watch that you would wear casually for fun, right? And you'll get a lot of attention wearing it. It's definitely a looker, and you know, I think about it like this, you know, people are like, this is such a crazy design, right? Especially the skeletonized version. Well, if you're wearing a Ventura, you're wearing it for a reason. You're wearing it to make a statement, and you're going to stand out with any kind of Ventura watch, right? So if you're going to stand out and you want to make a statement, might as well be as crazy as possible, right? Just go for yeah, for the most craziest design, and this is the craziest design of the Ventura line, right? They have the original vintage ones, and then the XXLs, and then the Elvis 80 Skeletons are just really crazy, and top of the line as well. So this is the most expensive Ventura, I believe. Yeah, it's the Elvis 80 Skeleton, barring any special editions. This is probably the most expensive normal Ventura that you can get. So yeah, it's got the Hamilton logo here. Of course, Hamilton's a widely respected company in the watch industry. Most of their watches are in the affordable category, actually, and this is actually one of their most expensive models in general, right? 1,800 US is just, that's pretty top of the line for Hamilton watches, because most Hamilton watches are like around 1,000, I'd say. So it's definitely in the upper range of Hamilton watches. And yeah, it's just a really unique design, right? You don't often see people wearing watches like a Ventura is just going to stand out no matter what. So crown, right? You have the little H on the crown right here. But yeah, I've actually already done an unboxing of the Elvis 80 Quartz. So I'm familiar with this design. It's really, really cool. It's see, if you look at the side, it's almost like a spaceship, like a UFO. Really nice how the glass, the sapphire glass is like curved. That's really, really cool. So it really is just a crazier version of the Elvis 80 I had before. I mean, I like the original Elvis 80, the non-skeleton version as well, right? This nice Americana type design, but I wanted something even cooler and crazier, and that's why I got the skeleton version. Yeah, just with this power motif in the middle, and then you can see the balance wheel working. You can get the sense of power, the industrial design of this. Yeah, so you got a mid-50s element, right? It definitely keeps that mid-50s element that the Ventura is famous for. The area of experimentation, you know, of like tail fin cars and stuff like that. It keeps that kind of motif, but then it just kind of takes it up a notch, right, with the skeletonized version. So yeah, again, this is the black version because there is another version, the gold one, that I feel like is a little bit too tacky. So this one is the one I went for. I do think that they should have a silver case version though. They don't have a silver case version. The original base Elvis 80 is a silver case. So they only have a black case version, interestingly. So yeah, that's it. You can see it on my wrist. It is a big watch, but it doesn't actually wear big. So if you look at my wrist here, definitely noticeable, of course, right? People are going to notice this watch no matter what, but it is not like outrageously big or anything. So yeah, it's fine for me. Definitely not a watch I would like normally wear every day, but for fun, for sure, I would just wear this, right, to get some attention and definitely make a statement with this one. Yeah, so anyways, it's a nice fun watch, I would say. You gotta have one of these in your collection. Just have a fun watching collection. Not all the watches have to be like, you know, traditional looking watches. You can have some of the more traditional looking dress watches or vintage watches or whatever, but in my opinion, every collection needs a fun watch, and this is a fun watch. So yeah, the Hamilton Elvis 80 Skeleton, the top of the line Ventura. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. I think it's a really fun looking watch, really cool looking, right? Really got that retro futuristic design. If this watch showed up in the Fallout universe, it could, right? And actually, I believe the Men in Black movies, they wear Venturas, I think, as well. So it just adds to that futuristic element of this watch. So anyways, guys, the Elvis 80 Skeleton. I'm not sure if Elvis himself would have worn this watch, but I don't know what he would have thought of this design, but still, it is a really cool design. You can't deny that. Okay, another thing is the lume on this watch. There's basically, you can see all the dots at the indices here. So that's where the lume is applied, in addition to the hour hand and seconds hand, of course. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but yeah, you'll see that, you know, the indices, seconds hand, and the minute hand is lighting up in addition to the indices here. So yeah, pretty good lume, I'd say. It does take some time to get used to reading this watch because normally people are familiar with the regular round face watch. So usually where the 6 o'clock is, you know, right down there. In this case, the 5 o'clock is the one that's actually at the lowest point. And then the 1 o'clock is at the highest point here. People are used to, you know, 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock being there. So yeah, it does take a little bit to get used to, but yeah, after a while, I mean, you will know that this is 5, this is 1, and then 12 and 6 are actually here. So yeah, that's just one of the things you have to get used to with this watch. But other than that, pretty nice, unique looking watch, of course. Definitely a standout, and people will definitely ask about it. Also, this is a hacking movement, obviously with any decent mechanical watch. As you can see, the seconds hand ticks, but then when you want to adjust the time, you pull the crown out and it stops. And that's so that you get a more accurate, when you actually adjust the watch for the time, it's more accurate because, you know, you don't have to deal with the seconds hand moving while you're adjusting. So it's a basic thing. For any decent mechanical watches, you have that hacking design. You push it back in and the seconds hand just keeps on ticking. Another thing about this watch, if you guys are thinking about getting it, all the Ventura models, including this one, the watch straps are basically very custom. Like, they're particular to this watch, to this design, and which makes sense because it's such a unique case. So just keep that in mind. If you have like a desire to change out the straps, for a Ventura watch, you basically have to find a specialized one because yeah, these are not regular watch straps. You can't easily change them out with just, you know, any third-party watch strap. You have to get one specifically made for the Ventura. So just something to keep in mind. It is a unique case shape, and hence, you know, it's a little bit harder to find those aftermarket straps. Although I'm happy with this rubber one, but yeah, definitely if you want to find another one, it's something to keep in mind. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and let me know what your comments are.